With my mechanical pencil, I then added in the fine details around the eye and couldn't resist adding a few more details around the face area. Hi, I'm Anna Mason. Welcome to this episode of Nature Studio TV, here to help you become the artist you want to be. In this mini class, I'm going to show you how I drew this garden bird, a sparrow, packed full of details. Let's take a look. I began, as always, by making an outline drawing. As well as the edges of the bird and branch, I also marked in the most prominent features, which were the eye, beak, and some key feathers. I then went straight to the darkest end of the tonal or value range and used a dark 8B pencil to work on the darkest parts of the eye and then the darkest patches on the sparrow's body. With those darkest tones in place, I then used my 3B pencil to work on the darker midtones, adjusting the amount of pressure I was using where the tones changed. I was drawing lots of short lines to create the feathery texture. As I observed my reference photo, I was paying close attention to the direction of those little lines, as matching these accurately would help to define the sparrow's curved form. I then applied a light layer of pencil over the upper part of the bird, again using lots of short lines to create texture and form. I continued into the head and face, leaving any areas that seemed lighter, and moved down into the tail and underside. Next, I applied a second layer of pencil over the top of that first layer, again paying close attention to form, moving around the bird and adjusting the pressure where the areas appeared lighter or darker. Building up the tones in layers like this helps to keep you in control of the tonal values and helps with creating visual textures too. I was holding off from using pencil on the pale edges of the feathers at this point, as I'd be coming to them later. It's worth mentioning that the full-length step-by-step version of this class is an hour in length, so if I'm going too fast for you in this overview video, remember that you can access a fully guided version with membership to my online school, Nature Studio. I'll show you some member results at the end of this video. Now that I'd got a layer of pencil more or less everywhere on the feather areas, I then worked on the sparrow's beak, using my pencil at a low angle to create a smoother effect and the tip where I wanted to add definition. With my mechanical pencil, I then added in the fine details around the eye and couldn't resist adding a few more details around the face area. Next, I turned my attention to the legs, again trying to replicate the angles of the marks I could see in my reference photo as I built up the tone and the scaly texture. Using my 3B pencil and varying amounts of pressure, I then worked on the twig, observing the shadows and creating little patches of darker and lighter areas to recreate the overall impression of the rough, uneven bark. At this point, I took a strategic tea break so that I could come back to the drawing with fresh eyes to add in the final details. Taking a step back enabled me to see the areas I needed to darken. So with my 3B pencil, I worked my way around the composition, tuning into the tones and looking for any areas that weren't dark enough. Always working in the direction of form, I was using the side of the pencil lead to gently cover big areas and the tip where I wanted to add details. I switched to my mechanical pencil for the finest line details and delicate feathers, working my way around. This fun part of the process is meditative, and it's also where the realism is taken to the next level, so I always enjoy taking my time when a drawing or painting reaches this stage. With my 8B pencil, I did some final darkening of the darkest parts, before one last round of darkening using a combination of my 3B and mechanical pencils. And then, when I stopped seeing areas to darken, I decided to call my sparrow drawing finished. A full-length video class of this bird drawing is available now with Nature Studio membership. If you've enjoyed this mini class, please subscribe to this channel, then fly over to naturestudio.com where you can sign up for free classes and find loads of resources to help you capture the beauty of nature on your paper. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. If you haven't taken your free full-length watercolour class yet, you're missing out. Step by step, I'll guide you through painting a 3D pear that looks real enough to pick up and eat. I'll explain not just what to do, but why, so you'll learn a reliable method you can use for painting all kinds of subjects that make your heart sing. You'll discover that you're already a better artist than you thought, and like thousands of others who painted their free pear before you, this discovery might just ignite a spark in you that wants to take this further. Which is where Nature Studio membership comes in. Joining gives you access to hundreds more classes that'll help you develop your skills and grow as an artist. And in addition to the classes, when you join, you become part of a global community of like-minded creatives who can support you and offer you feedback if and when you need it. Get the free pair class now and enjoy discovering wherever it takes you next.